there's another kind of instinct that you need to be on the lookout for, and this one is a liar. This one is a saboteur. Well, this one is a backbiter. And like the devil himself, he's a shapeshifter. He's going to disguise himself and make you think he's got your best interest in mind. But he doesn't. This is the instinct that says, you've had enough. This is the instinct that says, you've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. This is the instinct that says, you can rest now. Do not listen to that instinct. Do not listen. That instinct is a liar and wants to bring you down. That's the instinct that's a defense mechanism. It wants to give you an out, a place to run to, a little place of sympathy, an amnesty, a little place of amnesty where everything is forgiven, where all these failures can gather together in comfort and drown their sorrows in lies and in deception. And they tell each other. And they'll tell you, you did the best you could. No, they'll say the deck was stacked against you. And they'll say it's not your fault. And they'll tell you it's okay to stop. It's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight. You need to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat, so that you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic, not on the instinct of surrender and defeat. And you need to train that instinct. Your instinct. Train it to say, get up. Go. Fight on. And if that is what you become, if that becomes your fundamental reaction to adversity, if that becomes your gut instinct, then you will overcome just about anything that stands in your path.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game.
You have to make sure that your mind doesn't become spastic. Mm-hmm. When it's suffering, when it's in pain, all it wants to do is find the easy way out, which is usually quit. Mm-hmm. If you quit, the pain goes away immediately.
Yeah.
You gotta give yourself enough energy and fuel in your mind to stay just a little bit longer so you can talk yourself into staying for the whole thing. In that moment where we need self-talk, when we're failing and we're in our worst spot possible, we forget the back end.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault, the front end. All the build up to where we're at today. We forget how much work we put in. We forget that we put years, maybe not into making these dials, but to getting where you're at today.
To become this person.
To become this person, to be in a position to make this money or whatever the fuck you want to make, whatever you want to do in your life.
Yeah.
We forget that. We forget that journey on what it took for us to get in this moment to make the right decision.
Yeah.
So that's my self-talk is this. Okay, I want to get the fuck out of here, man. I'm done. Then I remember this. You ran 2,000 miles training to be in this moment right now. We forget that.
Yep.
We forget the 3 o'clock in the morning runs or getting up early for work or whatever you're doing. We forget all that. In that moment of suffering, I remind myself,
Yeah.
I only have 50 more miles. I put in 6 months of training.
You did 67,000 pull-ups.
67,000 pull-ups, that's right.
4,030, right?
Exactly.
Like, this is no big deal.
We forget all of that.
Yeah.
So what I do, my self-talk is basically going back down memory lane.
Yeah.
Of all those fucked up days, I ran in the fucking rain, or I had to fucking study real late at night, and I didn't want to do it, but I did it to get here.
Yeah. That's the hook.
That is the hook.
That's the hook.
I wanted to get here.
Yeah.
Now you're here, and now you want to fucking quit?
Yeah.
So you gotta be mindful, but this thing about it, if you haven't put in any hard work to reflect on, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So there is no self.
Because you got nothing to pull back on.
It's just a lie.
Nothing to say, hey, you've done this before.
That's right.
Or you've done something like this
That's
before.
right. All this like people want to be all positive, all this positive talk, it doesn't work if it's a lie. Like if you didn't study for your big exam and you go into it saying, I'm gonna pass it,
Yep.
no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking fail it.
Yeah.
That self-talk is not gonna work. Self-talk without real work is just a lie.
Yeah.
So my self-talk is me reminiscing back on the struggle to get to this moment.
Yeah.
And that tells me we're not quitting today.
My dad, when he got sober, I said, Dad, are you gonna stay sober the rest of your life? And this is where the power of one more comes in. My dad says, I don't know. I can tell you this, I'm gonna stay sober for one more day. And so when I went through that, my dad called me. I was really broke. My dad goes, you thinking about quitting? And I go, yeah, I'm close. He goes, just don't quit for one more day. He's so wise. And I didn't. And that not quitting for one more day and holding on would go to the next day and to the next day.
Life doesn't always give you what you want, but it does give you what you need. And I think fuck it moments sometimes are what you need, because you need to see that you can have a moment where you want to give up, and you can even screw up in those moments, and you can get back on the transformation train and you can keep going. That you are bigger than the fuck it moment, that the fuck it moment is there to test you. It's there because it's part of the process of growing. It is there because you got to learn how to manage these emotions that are going to come up. You want to know what a fuck it moment is? It's a moment when you get triggered. You're just overwhelmed with emotion. That's it. It's an inability to handle uncomfortable emotions. And so we say, fuck it. We go, let's numb out. Let's check out. Let's just check out. Let's throw in the towel. And I'm here to tell you those moments are normal and you can tolerate those uncomfortable feelings. It's almost like instead of chucking the towel, throwing in the towel, how about you visualize wringing the towel out instead? That almost sitting with that rise of negative emotion is a lot like letting a towel soak in the water, and then you're just going to take a deep breath and you're going to wring that towel out. And then you can like shake it out too. And this is so important because this is also a skill that you need. And if you can have the courage to admit what's going on and what's not working, if you can gather up the strength and the self-awareness to go, oh, I think I'm having a fuck it moment. I'm like ready to throw in the towel on this thing. I'm only 7 days into not doing dairy and I want to kill my entire family because I'm so irritable. Oh, this is a fuck it moment. I'm ready to just be like, that's it. I don't want to date you anymore, instead of having the conversation because I don't like the emotions that I'm feeling. Recognize it.
It's very important as you hold on to that dream. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times that are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to know that. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day. I remember I was playing a game with my 9-year-old son, John Leslie, and I beat him 10 straight games in a game called Connect 4. And finally, I said, John Leslie, I'm bored. I don't want to play you anymore. And I got up. I said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. John Leslie said, no, you can't go now, Dad. I said, why? He said, it's not over until I win. That was his attitude. We sat down and we played several other games. And finally, after the 11th game, John Leslie won, and he got up and he yawned. And he said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.